I went through a lot of trauma, child sexual abuse. I went through DV. I went through alcohol addiction, to the point where it was like really life or death. Then I met you. Jazz put me in touch with you. I went to residential rehab. And yeah, it's a story of really adversity and I guess a hell of a lot of success, you know. But behind me, we all know that addiction is a family disease.
Yeah.
So we've had me talk a lot, but it's lovely to have my mum on to, you know, to speak about it, how it was for her as a parent and what she went through in terms of my addiction and I guess her addiction in a sense.
Yeah.
You are judged. We think that we are not judged. We think that we're living in an era where, you know, we think there's a lot of awareness, which I don't think there is. We think that, you know, we're in a modern society, we're living in a European country, things will be different, but it's not. We still go back into a little community, and within the community, I think the first step that comes in is from your home front, because your home front, you've got your own families saying things to you, you are listening to one person saying something else, you're listening to other person saying something else, then you are a mom as a parent, you're seeing your daughter, so you think about all these things, and you as a mom, rather than focusing on what's there and what's happening, you tend to put a blanket over it, and I did put a blanket over it, you know, and I was worried about everybody else. I felt very much pretty on my own, and to see Oni like this, and I was thinking, why are you doing this? You know, like I would in my head I would fight that, Oni, why are you doing this? Oni, why can't you just be better? You're such a good girl. You know, like these kind of things were coming into my mind. Then I would think about her children. I would revert Oni back to think about her children, but there was a point that Oni was just in her own world. I didn't think it was a disease. As I said to you, I was thinking as a phase. Very scary.
And it's also very brave of you as well.
Very scary. Very much on my own. I was very much on my own. And it came to, because I was told that, look at you, you are a teacher, and you know, look at what your daughter is doing, you know, what kind of, you know, husband do you have? He keeps on working, he doesn't think of your daughter, she needs to go into rehab, put her in rehab. All sorts of things were coming up, you know, oh, maybe you didn't do this right, maybe you did. So, you know, you start thinking of, oh, that was a cloud that was around me, and you start thinking of all these things. And only in that sense was just forgotten. I thought Auni's anger is towards me. But time said to me that Auni wasn't angry at me. Auni wanted me to help her because she knew that only my mom can do it. That's why she was doing it to me, not to anybody else.
As a parent, just as a person, she had everyone against her. Maybe she wanted, and I believe she wanted me to go ahead, and you know, but she had all her family saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, you got to think of your sister, you got to do this, and it was almost like one person, and there's all these pressures from her. So I understand it, I empathise, you know.
There was I wanted, like, there was a point, and I'm not going to lie, I wanted Auni to die or I die. I wanted like Auni to die because I could see that Auni was literally dying. So I thought, I'd rather just see my daughter die because I couldn't take the pain, or I die because I couldn't see it. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat very well. I started, you know, having because I'm a person, I don't speak out, I don't talk much. I tend to have this persona that I'm always well. It's my job, part of my job, I think, making sure everybody's okay. But I wasn't okay myself. I started internal bleeding. That was my health. Started going down. My asthma started flaring up. I had sleeping problems. Very hopeful, and but I was very doubtful because I really thought that Auni will die. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Auni will die because every time when she used to go to hospital, when she used to have a fall, when she used to go to hospital, the doctor always used to say to me that we are really worried about her kidney, worried about her liver, you know, and if that ever happens, it's going to be a painful thing for Auni. And I used to say to my husband that if ever comes, I'll donate my organ to my daughter. But I don't want that. If one day my daughter doesn't drink, I'm giving one day a life to my daughter. When I got help from Ellie, a couple of times I literally did go downstairs. I took pills out and I wanted to commit suicide. I took all the pills out. I laid all the pills out on the table. And I said, that's it. I can't see Oni, so I'm going to that. I want to do that. And I was trying to pop the pills. And then, I don't know, I thought of my younger daughter. I thought of my other daughter. And then I thought, I can't do this to my other children.
Just my mum. It's, for most families, there's huge pressure, you know. I'm just grateful, and I am truly grateful, Mum, that there came that time when you stopped caring. And I've said this many times in different podcasts. There came a point when she stopped caring what people thought, and she looked at me and she started to fight. She fought for my life, you know, and I'm grateful for that.
And what was that like for you, Asmita, when Annie came out and you saw her growth, saw her, the commitment that she made to herself? You could see that surface, you could see that happening.
Yeah, I just saw another side of Ani. This is strong, this lion is, whoa. I thought, oh my God. She would just speak and she would just go on, and she was so committed. And I thought, oh, what's happened to this Ani?
You say, well, what did they do to you in rehab?
Yeah. No, is it about other people? No. So I think education and affirmation to yourself that it's not about other people, it's about what's happening to your doorstep. What can you do to help? That's the most important thing. And going back, I'm sorry, retracting back, when Auni was going through alcohol addiction, and when Dilesh said to us, to keep Auni alive, you have to give her a drink. Oh my God. That was the worst thing ever. I used to think, how can this, what is he talking about?
Yeah, you did. You said that to me.
I said, what are you talking about? And Dilesh goes, yes. You want to see Auni alive? You will have to. You'll have to give her a drink. Otherwise, and I used to come back, and when I said, then we had to listen to him, because I knew that Dilesh is talking right. His expertise. He's been dealing with it. But there was a moment to think, is this guy saying the truth? Is he really? And I would ring him and he'd say, yes, you have to. You have to do that. And for us as parents to give Auni a drink from our hand, to give poison.
It's painful, isn't it?
To give poison to my daughter to keep her alive. I wouldn't want anyone to go through this. Yeah. Trust me.
I just want to say that I love you so much and thank you so much. You saved my life. It's not even just to save my life. My mum and dad, since I've come out of rehab, they have pushed me to find my own success. They've helped me find my wings. They've helped me to fly. They've supported me so much. And I'll be forever grateful, I'm really grateful for everything that you've done for me. It's nice to see you grow. Since I've come out of rehab, I've watched a change in you as well. I've watched you become more confident in yourself. I've watched you flourish. It's almost like we grew together.
I always say I'm going to send this message to all the family, parents, mothers, daughters. I'm going to say to them that whenever you are going through this, and if you have any family members, any relatives, any friends who tell you negative, like, oh, what this one will say, keep away from them. Stick with those who say, what can we do? How can we help you? Let's do that. Stick with those. And we are like a chain, beta. You are a chain that got eroded from somewhere, and it just got stuck somewhere, and you've come back again, and you've come back stronger, and you're pulling us with you, and that's an amazing thing for, I think, anyone.
Well, that's recovery, right? That is recovery. The power of recovery.
It is. What I wanted to say to you, there is mums just like you. Everything you've said, there will be mothers listening and watching that will understand. Every single word you've said will resonate with them. What do you want to say to those moms? I
want to say to everyone who's going through this, I would say to them that seek help. There is help there. And listen to the expertise, listen to the advice. There's no magic pill. As I've said to Dylan, there's no magic pill. And work with the person who's going through this. Help them,